and I was early as usual. DG, we're waiting for We're waiting for DG, blood. Like, so we just decided to go in it. What are you man saying? What are you man saying? Deluded's done. Yeah, we're waiting for him, bro. We're waiting for him. You lot, make sure you slap the like button. Hey, Matisse. Mate, this guy, I hate this guy, bro. There he is. Yo, my guy. What are we saying?
I'm there, man.
Flipping Matisse, blood. His team just signing everyone, blood. A man's just out here, bro. Man's just looking for crumbs under the table right now.
What, they signed someone apart from Chilwell now?
No, but no, Thiago Silva's meant to be announced today, blood. Manager's here, bro.
Yeah, you like they're doing their thing still. I can't even lie.
Mate, like
every
it's
day,
horrible.
Bro. Every day. We've literally just got an lined up every day. I think we've signed 4 defenders this week when you include
Maglasar in that as well, isn't it?
Yeah, on a free Chilwell, and then we signed a young boy from Barcelona who's about 18, very high.
Yeah, he's decent apparently.
Yeah, so
this is nonsense, bro. You man are trying to win the league, blood, but
I lie.
And the thing is, people to talk on Thiago, because obviously that's the one I expect today in the build up for Havertz tomorrow, as he will be the big one for probably the record.
Look at how this guy's talking, bro. I should just eject man from the video, you know.
You gotta let that guy when he's running his thing, man. Just chat his thing.
Nah, he's too cocky with it. I don't like it, bro. Nah, I don't like it.
For Messi on Twitter now.
I'm the worst person.
I don't like it, bro. He's too confident. Man's like, yeah, we're just lining up the Havertz thing.
Yeah.
Out, blood.
Like they're chatting to him, like Donny's on the phone with Abramovich. Like, hey, Sai needs to get messed up. I'm praying the medical gets failed for Havertz, man.
Yeah,
praying, fam. If he joins you lot, all of that agendas.
I don't know if you man saw my video, but because Roman's splashing, I decided to do a little propaganda for Messi, fam. I was like,
he was working for Messi still.
That's obviously. I mean, if he goes to Man City, that's a whole nother conversation. But back on Thiago, I mean, obviously a lot of people will mock his age and whatnot, but he's got to a Champions League final, led his team. He starts for us. I know that. I'm pretty sure he starts for most Premier League teams at the top. So, you know, I'm excited because he's just going to carry everyone's level. Do you know what I mean? I don't expect him to play 50, 60 games. But I do expect him to carry the Zuma, the other young defenders, take them to the level and play the big games. And maybe, you know, your smaller teams, you can take him out. So I'm buzzing, man. I'm buzzing.
Fam, the pressure is on Lampard now. Bro, you know what? Yeah, if you don't win something next season, you know, it's a madness for you.
You know what it is, yeah? I don't think he'll get sacked next season because I really do believe it's a long-term project. If you look at the coaching staff they've brought in to back him, the players, you know, Ben Chilwell is a 100% Lampard target.
Yeah, that's who he wanted, number one.
Yeah, Ziyech was probably a long-term club target. I heard Havertz is a baller. He's a generational talent. Do you know what I mean? Everyone's going to want.
And there's marketing behind that as well.
Exactly. It's not like, Lampard convinced us to get Havertz. Havertz is a player.
Yeah, a blind man could see Havertz is someone you want to bring to the club.
Exactly. But when you look at the left-back situation, there were so many alternatives. And I've been screaming for them. I even had a video saying I want Saka at Arsenal because he was running out of contract. And Arsenal fans are trolling me for that now, but I still believe Saka is the better player than Chilwell.
Give it to him, people, for that cheek.
Yeah, give
it to him, man. Hey, get up in his Twitter and fuck that up.
the video for Saka has gone up by 20,000 views since the Chilwell.
I don't want to play with them Arsenal fans on Twitter, but them man, they are different, you know.
But do you know what? Even though he's signed, I'm not going to go back on it. Like Saka, for me, a player. I think he's got higher potential. He's played in multiple positions. I love Saka. I think he's a great player. And I wanted him badly. When he's run out of contract, I was like, Chelsea, if you can go in there and get him, get that guy, fam.
Go and get it done, innit?
Yeah, obviously signed a new contract. I didn't want Chilwell for 60+ million. And to be honest, even Chilwell now, I'm not convinced. I had loads of other left backs I'd prefer that were half the price of Chilwell, but it's very clear that Lampard wanted Chilwell and Chilwell only. So, you know, you have to back the guy. That's, you know, I'm happy that he's got his target because it means I can judge him a lot more. You know, honestly, he's getting the, you know, when there's a grey area, I spoke about this before, but like when there's a grey area of a player, of a manager not getting the
play in it.
Yeah, you kind of have to give him a little leeway because he didn't get the man he wants, and now he's working. Lampard's getting what he wants, so
you can't really chat shit now. It is what it is.
But I don't expect us to win a league or you know what I mean. I just want us to win a cup competition at the bare minimum. We shouldn't be losing no more cup finals and finish comfortably in the top 3 or 4, depending on what Man United do. I don't know what's taking so long. Rants.
What are you saying for Chilwell, anyways? like as a player, bro? Because you're the guy.
For me, Chilwell, I've said this so many times for me on Chilwell, and people are like starting to like dig at me now, but I honestly mean it. For me, this season, he has been very average. I know he had a good season. Now he's had a very poor season, so he's balancing out to average. I think players, they do come at extra tax. They do get put, if he's on the continent, he doesn't cost this much money. There's players all over the planet. Do you know what I mean? There's loads of other left backs of this level for half the price. It's the English thing. And I understand it because obviously he's used to the league. He's accustomed to the league. He probably suits the way Frank plays with such a, like our team is so open that we probably need someone like Chilwell for athleticism to get back and cover the space that we're going to leave behind. So I understand it from that point of view. But from a technical point of view, there are better left backs that can cross the ball better, that are better defensively. So for me, obviously, he's not an average player, but for Chelsea standard, I'd say he's very average going both ways. He's got potential to improve, but I'm not sold on it. I don't think he's, he could be a great player or he could be Luke Shaw. Do you know what I mean? It could go either way.
Yeah.
I honestly, I'm not, out of all the signings, he's the one that I'm most worried about because I've seen it. Even if you look at his stats, he's got the most sprints, Chelsea fans will tell you, but they won't tell you that he's been dispossessed. I think one of the top players in terms of numbers to be dispossessed this season in a possession-based style. If you're losing the ball a lot, that's not good. I'm not trying to see that. So for him to work on, and my main issue is not even just Chilwell, it's the fact that our coaching, our defensive coaching has been so poor. I know we're trying to rectify it by bringing players in, but coaches in, but we need to have better coaching if we're going to improve players. Players don't just improve out of thin air.
Just for the sake of improving.
Yeah, like people assume just because you're young in English that you're going to improve. That doesn't make any sense. There has to be a coaching, a structure. There's a reason why, you have
to know what you're trying to improve as well. Like, man, you can't just be doing stuff for the sake of doing stuff.
Exactly. There's many players that come out and tell you, I didn't improve under this manager. His training methods didn't suit me. I'm not saying Lampard is not going to have the right training, but it's very clear that in terms of training, Lampard's defensive coaching is not of the level required this season. It's very clear. Need some help in that regard. I've said this before, and Ferguson didn't always coach his teams. It's not a shot at Lampard, but he's clearly not.
Just cover your weaknesses, bro.
Yeah, you can't, exactly.
Get a defensive coach and you're calm.
Yes, exactly. You cover your weaknesses, you get a defensive coach, and then I might have a bit more faith that the likes of a Chilwell will improve. But with defensive structure this season, I would prefer either a cheaper alternative who's the same level or a world-class defender who doesn't need training to improve and is just at that level. So we'll see with Chilwell, but I'm not going to assume he gets better. I just hope.
That makes sense, man.
Yeah, but this is it. The thing with Ben Chilwell is, I think a lot of it is just it's the English hype, innit? That's what it is. Well, I've watched him play. He looks better than Luke Shaw, but he doesn't look as good. You don't look as good as Luca Digne at Everton. You don't look as good as a few man. Really, if I'm honest. Do you know what I mean?
I like Chilwell, but I do like
him.
I just feel when he comes against someone that is what I describe as someone that wants to get chalk on their boots or someone that wants to take on their fullback, it seems like he still needs to learn how to actually defend against someone that's on things, because he does play well, but it does seem like his strengths are more going forward. Like even when he's linked with Chelsea. I'm not a Chelsea fan. I'm not a Leicester fan, so I don't know about their club or Chilwell. But when I think of Chilwell, I think of him bombing forward on the left hand
crosses in,
I don't think of him 1v1 specialist and things like that. Like Matisse said, you could always improve and you can bring man in to improve, but that's the one grey area, because big games, Chelsea are going to need people to stand out. That's a big reason as to why Alonso needs to keep it moving. He's let them down, so it's down to him, man.
Even attacking wise, defensively, we all know. Look, when he comes up against the very best, he can be spun, and there's very clear he has to improve in that area. But when it comes to going forward, his crossing for me is still not. It's not of the level where I would say, okay, at least he's an amazing attacking fullback. I wouldn't say Chilwell is an amazing attacking fullback. I look at someone like Alex Telles. I know he's in the Portuguese league, but his crossing and his shooting, they're of another level. He's literally carrying that Porto team. Any Porto fan will tell you that. So there was better attacking fullbacks and there was better defensive ones. So for me, when it comes to Chilwell, I understand why it's happened. Not only does Frank Lampard want him, but it's very clear that Chelsea are trying to build a culture. It's not just about who they bring in and who's better. They're trying to bring a togetherness of spirit. Chilwell, he knows the lads. Do you know what I mean? He knows the other players. He's met them on international duty. There's chemistry. You've got one communication of language in the back line, which will be probably English. So there should be more organization from that perspective. So I understand there's other things that come into it. If a player doesn't speak English and another player doesn't speak their language, the communication amongst them each other will maybe a bit less clear. There's things like that come into it. But at the same time, you know, we spent a lot of money. I know fair play to our negotiator Morena. Shout out to her because she negotiated that from 80 million down.
Yeah, she did her thing. She wasn't being held to ransom. She did.
Yeah,
her
look at what Maguire was. They asked for 80. Man United paid 80. Do you know what I mean? Like, to negotiate is huge, and we could have been paying stupid money for him, but now this is a bit easier to stomach. They've paid 45 million, I think, with some add-ons. Obviously, Leicester not qualifying for the Champions League helps, and he picked up a little injury, which he's still going through. But they've negotiated it down, so props to them for that. Even though he's not my choice, I'm happy with the negotiation, the way they did that.
Nah, like I have to say, like it's refreshing to hear, innit? Because a lot of the time, yeah, fans like to just gas their signings like all the time. Do you know what I mean? Without looking at it from an analytical point of view. And I think that Ben Chilwell is a good player, but you're right. Do you know what I mean? Getting him down to 50 million from 80, even though I still think that 50 is a lot, yeah, but you have to pay the English premium. Do you know what I mean? So I think that is important to remember that he's better than what you've had, but for that money, you definitely could have got better as well. And I think that's a fair assessment. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I don't think that there's anything negative about that. I think you're just being honest. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's it.
Sometimes people say, listen, you're twerking for rival fans. When we announce Havertz, you will see how gassed I am because I mean, that's a player that I cannot, do you know what I mean? He's got everything for me. He's got everything. He's got the height to improve on his heading ability like Ballack did for Chelsea, but he's got the type of Ozil vision and passing, obviously, that can improve as well. But you can see he's got an instinct for a pass to open up low blocks. He's got the versatility of playing in right wing, centre mid. As a 21-year-old, to be able to play 4 positions, he's even played false 9 pre-lockdown and scored. So I can do propaganda. I'm not twerking, but I have to. It's not a show for talking shit. It's a show for honesty. Do you know what I mean? If propaganda, I can go back on Twitter and do that, but we come here to talk honesty on the play. There's a reason why I didn't want Chilwell, and I literally was going after every other left back in the world. Do you know what I mean? Because at least they were half the price. You know, when you pay this price, we saw what happened with Kepa. If you make someone, you know, one of the world's most expensive rare you best believe I will give them time. I always give a player a year. Settle yourself, even though Chilwell's from this league, so he shouldn't need too much adaptation. I mean, a lot of experts are saying he should adapt to Chelsea quicker because of all the players that we have from the England setup, Mount, Hudson-Odoi, whatnot. But give him a year, of course. But don't think the media are. Don't think anything else is. Don't think rival fans are. Don't think the media are going to give him a year. Yo, if he doesn't turn up for that amount of money, they're going to get onto him. And but Chilwell is a confidence player. If the media are onto him because he's not performing for the price tag, it might affect him, and this is where players go wrong, and they start losing their heads, and sometimes their career doesn't pan out to how it was meant to be. So the fee, people say, you know, money is irrelevant. It's not, because you would pay a certain amount of money for one man, and you wouldn't pay that for another man. Do you know what I mean? Exactly. So always relevant. It's a factor that you have to take into account. It's always finances in football. There's no getting away. There's no way of getting around it.
You know what you're hoping is that, you know, the good thing about Chilwell is, yes, it's probably on the expensive side, but all the bad points in his game, they look like they could be coached out. I mean, at 23, you know, he's not the best he could potentially be. You're hoping within the next 2-3 years he can iron that out, and then you've got a decent left back. But if's a strong word in football. If only time will tell if it's going to be a factor, and if he can improve, then, you know, it is what it is in that regards.
Yeah. I see a few man in here saying man's drinking milk, bruv, like Bruno. I don't drink milk, my guy. It's coconut water, bro.
For just drinking a one juice.
Yeah, like it's coconut water, my guy. Like, if I don't drink milk, bro, that would listen. That's fireworks in the whole blood. If man's drinking milk like that, I can't be drinking milk. Come on now, you know that. Nah, bro. That would have ruined me, boy. I'm telling you. You would have heard the bass from here, bruv. 808 City, boy. My belly would have been mad. Mike Will made it, bruv. I'm telling you, bruv. In the studio. Nah. I don't drink milk. Don't drink milk. So less of that. You know what I'm saying? It's mad, bruv. But yeah, the Chilwell thing. Thiago, I don't know, man. I'm mixed with Thiago because I feel like at 35 years old, yeah, the one place I'm not trying to see is Premier League. You know, like that. Even with Messi, yeah, like at his age, yeah, I'm not really trying to see the Prem. If I'm honest, I'm not trying to see it. I'm going to Italy. I'm coasting. Like, I'm going to France. I'm not trying to see it.
But you know what? And the thing is, same way, I understand where you're coming from, because Thiago wasn't my first choice, mainly because, first of all, I just didn't even consider him, because I was like, Chelsea, I'm going to go and get Thiago. He's 36. It's kind of like the long-term building. They're probably going to get someone younger, looking at Declan Rice. I've mentioned his name before. A few others. Even Gabriel Arsenal, I've been talking up because I think he's going to be really good for them. But I didn't see Thiago coming because it just didn't make no sense. But now that he's here, I understand the reservations for sure. And I agree, like, he's very old, and we can't guarantee a player crosses over to another league and performs. We could get a Thiago Silva of John Terry in his like 35, where he's still playing very well, or we could get a Rio Ferdinand at QPR who didn't have the pace. And do you know what I mean? It can happen. It was not a guarantee.
If you're going to play him in a 3, I understand it. But if you're going to play him in a 2, I don't want to see my guy catching guys like Calvert-Lewin, and Jamie Vardy. These men will make you run your hamstrings off, you know. Like, I see that man dragging him. You see the way that Bale, retired Maicon. I can see someone giving him one of them.
Yeah,
like,
no,
it's
risky.
All depends on his physics, man.
Yeah, the only thing I will say, which I like about the deal, is that one, he's obviously not costing us no money, so it's kind of very low risk. And 2, he dropped his wages. I was very worried that his wages were going to be ridiculous because he's a free transfer. But no, I think he's going to be earning about 110k. So again, like, it's very risk for us because it's just, you know what I mean, it's someone to bring in. And again,
leader as well, man.
I don't expect him to play every game. Very much pick and choose when you use someone like Thiago Silva, because of course we need to manage him. He's 36. We can't just expect him to come and play every single Premier League game. But around him with pace, you've got Reece James, who is slimming down and is going to be quicker for me. Zuma's very quick, very good recovery defender. If you want someone to, if you want a Thiago Silva to almost take the brunt of it and mark people and come out as a defender, Zuma is your perfect cover, especially for last ditch recovery, pace, and stuff like that. And then you've got Chilwell, who now makes a lot more sense if you're gonna
get around him,
pace around him. So Chilwell's so he's very quick. So in a high line, Thiago Silva is obviously, you know, he's not gonna be the quickest out of all of them, but he's got the experience. That's something that's very key for me. If you've played in a high line before, your positioning, your awareness, you know what's going on. Thiago has been playing Brazil, PSG, they're teams that play on the front foot. So he kind of knows the situation by now. He should be able to navigate his way around it. Obviously, I expect him sometimes he's going to get outpaced. That's going to happen. But I'm just hoping that his IQ and leadership will take us to another level, because we had quick defenders in Rudiger, but his defensive awareness was not on the level. And at least with Thiago Silva, you're getting the leadership, you're getting the awareness, you're getting the set piece marking. So there's other areas that will improve for me. And if you drop a couple yards back, 10, 20 yards, and so be it. It's not really a problem for me.
For me, he's sensible, and I think, it remains to be seen what he did in the league, but I think he's sensible enough to be a hit. Obviously, when you see his age and all these variables, it throws things up. But from what I've seen, I don't know him, but he looks like he takes care of himself. He still looks like he's got a yard of pace. He screams an intelligent man. If Lampard, kind of hides him in the squad, hides his deficiencies because he's not going to have the legs to get up and down, I think he could be an all right signing, man. It just depends. When you have these players, it just all depends what happens. Like, it's one of them, some certain man can look all right and then just start declining very quickly, or they can maintain their form. So it's literally a wait and see thing, but I don't think it'll be a bad signing, to be fair, man.
This is why I say so heavily that Lampard or the coaching or whoever, they also need to fix up, not just for Chilwell, but for Thiago. If we're going to leave man exposed 1v1 every minute, everybody's going to get spun. It doesn't matter if you're Thiago Silva, Maldini, you know what I mean, Jesus Christ himself. If you're going to just open everything, kind of worms, then everybody's going to get spun, of course.
Yeah.
Our midfield has just been, at times, it's literally just been like scissors. You just cut through. I know Bayern Munich are the best team in the world, but they took 3 or 4 passes to cut through us. It was mad. Like, it was actually so easy to get through us. Our shape, the way we pressed, it just wasn't right. We was pressing like a 4-4-2. And then as soon as you get in between the lines, it's like everything just cuts open because people start trying to get attracted to the ball and space just opens up. If we're going to do that, then there's no hope for anybody. It doesn't matter who we sign.
Got a chance.
It's facts, bruv. And especially after Jamie Vardy's had about 6 red balls, fam. It's long. Like that. It's long, I mean, he'll take Thiago for a walk, fam. You know what I'm saying? But if they play him next to Zuma and he manages to kind of calm Zuma down and kind of use his experience and kind of be the commanding, influential centre-back, then it could work. You know what I mean? You could have the smart man and the young man with the legs next to him, and I think that could potentially bang, innit? I think out of all the players you've got, that partnership potentially could work.
Yeah, Yeah, definitely. I think they complement each other very well. So I would hope that would be the long-term thinking. Obviously, everybody knows I'm not a big fan of Rudiger. Christensen as well. Patience is thinning with him. Just from what I want in a defender, he doesn't often provide. I often find, when you have to make excuses for a player, you have to try and force yourself to like their deficiencies, and when you have to do that, there's something wrong. Do you know what I mean? And Christensen's been about the block for a while. He got the loan to Mönchengladbach in Germany, had a great loan there for 2 years, did unbelievably well. John Terry was talking him up, and for me, he just hasn't progressed in the way that I would have. And what a lot of our fan base, what they'll say with Christensen, and I say it for all our defenders, but at least Zuma has played very well. I've seen great long spells from him. Christensen is very much game by game basis, and a lot of people will say you need a defender to make another one look better. For me, just get 2 good defenders. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the end of the day,
2 men who can actually defend and competent.
Exactly, because if someone gets injured, then we can't be saying we've just lost 2 for the price of 1. Do you know what I mean? So that's how I see. That's how I see.
I haven't said opinions on Gabriel. That's for DG, I guess.
I mean, until he's signed, until he's official confirmation, I have to reserve all judgment, but it looks like he'll be a player. I'm happy for it. The price tag, he's 22. He is on the face of it a bit inexperienced. And if we are going to partner Saliba and him together, then fans need to take that in their stride and say they're going to have some good performances, but there could be some booky ones. I think with Arsenal fans, because we've been so rubbish in defence, we always look at one man as the messiah that's going to change things. Saliba isn't going to change it. Gabriel isn't going to change it. It's a structural change, which I think Arteta shown when he obviously improved us last year. So better players might do a thing. I'm happy with Gabriel, 6 foot odd, decent yard of pace, left footed, can play on the left hand side, can play a high line, and he likes to squeeze off to the left hand side, which would allow Tierney and Depp to be further forward. I'm not expecting too much. I'm not expecting a messiah. I'm expecting, areas of development. But from what I've seen, it's a decent player, and him and Saliba, they're better options than I saw in our defense, because it is the less of the 2 evils when you look at David Luiz and the Mustafis and the Socrateses and the rest of them. So I'm cool with Gabriel. If he does sign, it looks that way, but until I see him holding the shirt, it's a mazza.
No, absolutely. You lot smashed the like, boy. We got over 1,200 in the video already, boy. We're moving. I ain't seen too much of Gabriel still. Like, from what I've seen, he looks athletic, decent on the ball, and he's young, innit? Like, boy, in modern day football,
fairly aggressive as well.
Yeah, what do you need in modern day football other than that? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I think you're done of the days of like the young love to defend centre backs. The man are done.
There's no blood and guts, and
there's none of that no more. We can't be comparing centre backs now to the old days, innit? Like what it takes to be a centre half in today's football, is completely different. You just gotta be a decent athlete and decent on the ball. That's it.
Yeah, this is the way.
I mean, obviously Davis is a he's world class now. He's only just come from Canada, but even him, he looks like an NFL player. Do you know, he's very athletic. Do you know what I mean? It's a mazza. Obviously, he's got unbelievable ball control, and it's don't let these people tell you he's a PMP player. Technically, Davis is a great player.
Very good.
They love to put up players, especially PMP this, PMP that. Listen, he's got the PMP on top of the technicality. He's got technicality. But for me, Gabriel, he just looks like he's got a really solid foundation. From what I see, there's no like glaring weakness, but there's obviously stuff that needs to improve.
Areas that need to improve.
Yeah, I think he's a very nice, like, well-rounded individual. He looks like as if he's got a little bit of everything. Even the one thing I was looking for that I didn't know was the leadership. And a lot of people say that watch that and that are experts in the French league. They say he's got that as well. So for me, he just looks like with the right coaching, I think his potential is really high. They talk about him very highly with the Brazil under 23s and whatnot before they get to the national team. They speak about him, obviously Gabriel Jesus and that kind of crop. So they speak about him very highly. So I think, with Arteta as well, I think you've got a good, it's the first time I'm looking at Arsenal's defense, and I'm like, do you know what? They're starting
right back thing, bro.
As a right fan, dead honest, you actually look like you're actually addressing stuff.
Do you know what? Do you know what it is for me with Gabriel? It's what I hope, and it's down to him to improve. But it's with Gabriel in mind. For me, the next step in Gabriel's move was going to be crucial. That's why I understood taking your time. You're 22. You're probably going to stay at your next team for anything from 3 to 5 years. Significant development. So I understood, potentially wanting to go to Napoli. Italy, the home, in fact, the university of defending. You could learn your craft. If he's coming to Arsenal and he's going to be here for 4 years. Again, I'll never know, but I want to see a year-on-year improvement for him. But I hope the club's got a year-on-year improvement because we know what we're getting with him. He had a bit of a dodgy game against you lot in the Champions League, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Instantly, was it Tammy Abraham or someone? Someone gave him a tough time. Instant improvement. It's like Saliba against Metz with Diallo. Diallo terrorized him. There's been games in last season, I believe it was against Bordeaux. He either gave a penalty. These are 2 incidences. I don't know when they happened because I can't remember, but he gave away a penalty and he got caught flat-footed. So I think fans need to understand with Gabriel and Saliba, there's going to be we need to iron out their games and there needs to be a year-on-year development. But we need to recognize that there is going to be tough times. It's like this question. He says there's too much pressure. At the end of the day, when you play, I know we're not a top 6 team, but historically a top 6 team, there's always going to be pressure. Anyone that comes in is going to be pressured. I always advocate, don't put too much on the shoulders of Saliba and Gabriel. Remember that Saka is young. Mason Greenwood's irrelevant from Arsenal, but remember his age. But you can't really wrap them in cotton wool. I think it's just down to fans to be sensible. I know Saliba is 19 and has played two career seasons. I have seen him have great games in France. I've seen him get terrorized. So with that, I'm expecting man to have good games. I'm expecting him to be terrible. Man just want to see improvement. The same goes for Gabriel. The problem with Arsenal fans and fans in general, they will say exactly what I said, but it's difficult to rein in your emotions when you're seeing other teams flying up the league and iffy results and the need for now. So, what will really save Arsenal with these better players is a system. You look at Liverpool. A couple of years ago, Liverpool were very top heavy. They could only attack. They couldn't defend. They recognized that they need to improve their game management. Clearly, there's been an emphasis on coaching that and a system. Now, it's a bit different with a goalie, but Alisson and Van Dijk have come into the club. Them individuals make the difference. So Gabriel and Saliba, I want them just to show their quality, but we're only going to see an improvement if we defend collectively better as a team. Our first line of attack is them strikers. Our first attacker is our keeper. We need to start moving collectively in tandem, and Arteta's shown movements to that, but it's not an overnight process. So like Mike said, you've got to remember they're young, but the reality is fans aren't going to care with that, man. Whether people rate Joe Willock or not, there was a time when Joe Willock, Iwobi, Maitland-Niles, and it will happen to Saka and Martinelli. They can do no wrong. Then the energy just flips. And I'm pretty sure you've seen that with Callum Hudson-Odoi. Fans have probably seen that here and there with Rashford. So it is what it is in the game, man. But they need time, like Mike said. But fans are irrelevant. They're not stupid. They both know what they're about to get themselves into. And if they didn't have the temperament, then I'd have to question why they're here. So it is what it is. All they need to do is listen to their coach. And the fans, we're relevant, but we should be irrelevant in this regard. Just focus on the management and what you need to do and just sort out your temperament. Simple as.
That's what I mean. Where's this question? Where is it? Because I'm sure that was for DG as well, bro.
Oh, they're loving me today, boy.
Yeah, that centre back. Who's that Masondo guy or something? Who the hell's that? Is that your player, Masondo or whatever?
No. Ain't that the ex-Chelsea lad?
I don't know who the hell that is, bro. Someone said what happened to Masondo or something. Is that
man.
Yeah, I couldn't see the question on there. Yeah. So yeah, that's so do you know what with Masondo? He was very talented, young Belgium winger, kind of attacking midfielder. My issue with him really, and why I really didn't think he was going to make it, and it wasn't ever a physical issue, because a lot of players, and he's very much like the Messi type build. He's very small, very skinny. In terms of Premier League football, a lot of people will write him off immediately, saying he's not going to make it due to his
physically.
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't want to throw him into that boat. For me, his attitude was the issue. And it's not that, obviously I don't know him on a personal level, but when you look at the players that are breaking through at Chelsea now, not a lot of them, not all of them are as naturally talented as Masondo. Masondo was very naturally talented. I remember he played against Nottingham Forest. I believe he scored. He's very skillful.
Roma didn't work out, but his talent got him one of them loans. Eddie.
Exactly, very talented individual. However, his mental was not adding up. If you look at you compare it to like some Mason Mount, these lot, their mental is top tier. And Masondo was doing some dodgy stuff on his socials. putting up posts with Chelsea, then he's deleting it, taking the club out his bio.
No one's got time for that.
Stories with like hidden messages, like backhanded messages to the club or to the, you know, like I should be playing more, but you know, not making it bait, but you know, when you know how it is, fam. If you want to get a message out, do it cryptically. You know, you could do stuff like that, and it's like his profession
does it all the time, bro.
Yeah, I just saw signs. Do you know what I mean? And one thing that I'm not good at, you know, I'm not when it comes to education, I'm kind of average. When it comes a lot, you know, that I'm not book smart or anything. But one thing I do know how to read people, and I'm good sense of like reading the room or, you know, judging social dynamics, and I'm very good at picking up on little signs that a person isn't gonna cut it mentally. And I remember the same with Danny Drinkwater. A lot of Chelsea fans saw him uploading, you know, stories to his Instagram, and he was kind of like pissing about a bit and, you know, slapping on filters, but it was like it was before training, and I knew training was just about to start because I was following it up, and I was tracking this Don because we signed him for 40 million, and I just thought to myself, you're mental. You know, you don't look like a serious player who's really trying to break into the starting 11.
Yeah,
you know,
he
like,
realizes the opportunity they've got.
Yeah. And he looks like he's goofing about. He's a little bit too much of a class clown. And then people like Matisse, you're being too harsh, calm down, it's just Insta. And then a couple of weeks later, this brother's drinking and all this, and he's getting kicked out of Burnley. And now look at him. Do you know what I mean? So it's like you can pick up on this stuff if you follow it closely enough. And with Masunda, his attitude just didn't. You get a vibe of people. You just don't think they're on it.
He arrived before he.
Yeah, this is the top level. You have to be on it. There's no, you know what I mean? We spoke about this a couple of weeks ago on players regarding their diet and their fitness. You have to be on it. This is the top level of football. You're Masunda, and we're not Masunda. We're not talking about Neymar ability here. You have to work. Do you know what I mean? Even Neymar works. You have to work, man. And if you're not gonna put the work in, you're gonna have a little moment of lapse in concentration. Then it's like anything.
Your ability takes you so far. Like,
there's like young Chelsea youth are probably the best in the country in terms of winning trophies and being at the top. Usually, when we're talking about top youth teams, they're usually at the top of it. I know Man United defeated them a couple of years back. Mason Greenwood had a blinder, and that's when we started talking about Mason Greenwood. But consistently over the last decade, Chelsea are the top when it comes to youth teams. So there's a whole pool of players just chilling there, waiting to make their break. So there's no carry on with Masundas out here doing little things here and there to piss people off. That can't run. So yeah, he just was never going to make it, unfortunately, here, and he's a lot of injury problems as well, a lot.
Yeah, loads of people in here messaging about the Pogba COVID thing, bro. Honestly, I saw that in the chat probably like 10 minutes ago, and all you men that are spamming, I'll just block all of you. Literally, like I don't care, innit? I'll block you all. You know what I'm saying? If one man's saying it, two man saying it, five man saying it, cool. Why am I seeing 50 man saying the same thing? You don't need to say it, bro. Like, I can read.
Someone actually said that in the comments. They're like, Rants has probably seen this already as well.
But this is what I'm saying. So, Mod, bruv, from now, if anyone else puts that in the chat, block them. Don't even time them out. Because I timed out a few. Just block them. So they can watch, but they can't comment. Do you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we're doing this show. It's live and interactive, and we're interacting with you. But if you take the piss, man will block you, so you can't contribute. I don't care. This is how it is. We've got nearly 1,500 people in here, bro. So imagine if all of you man are spamming in here. Do you know what I'm saying? Some fuckery, man. You lot, make sure you smash the like button as well, man. What? We're nearly at 1,500 watching. We should have been clearer than 500 likes already. And if we're not, you man are moving mad. That's it.
It don't cost nothing to just hit that like button at all.
Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Just hit the like button. Do you know what I'm saying? That's what it is, bruv. Since you might want to talk about it, the Pogba COVID thing, cool. You got coronavirus. Like, what do you want? Like, you know, you know, like that. He got COVID.
There's nothing else to it, blood.
That's it. And so did Ndombele. Bro, it happens. I had 2 tests. I've had 2 COVID tests and they were negative.
You don't have the doctor's report on Pogba with the whole details in the situation, no?
No, but bruv, I'll email him my COVID thing and he can use it. You know,
some people are gonna blame Pogba for that as well, man.
That's what I'm saying. They're probably gonna say that Pogba spread it in the first place.
Yeah, Pogba's not ain't got good mentality because he came to the rest of the boys and gave it to them.
Yeah, practicing in the mirror, just rehearsing his lines, just like Pogba.
Yeah.
He's ready.
The only thing that makes me mad about the fact that Pogba's got COVID is the fact that he's got a newborn. And these man force man to go and play football, and he could be bringing it home and kill his own youth, fam. This is what these men are doing.
That's not the case, man.
This is what they're doing, you know.
Speedy recovery. This is why I don't blame people for not wanting to play football and all of these things, which people killed footballers initially for. And this is why footballers just need to do what's best for them, because at the end of the day, people don't give a crap. People do not give a crap.
It's just a job. Do you know what I mean? And they're telling me to go to work, I'm telling them fuck off. That's just not happening. Do you know what I mean? I'm going home. That's not happening. So it's just like any other job. I know they get paid a lot more, but money money don't buy lives. You know what I mean?
Oh,
money. So
money ain't no use to you when you're dead, boy. Like, if your family got a call, but it's no use specifically to you. You're in your coffin.
Yeah, you know what I mean? If you die, your money is no use to you, my guy. You know, everybody's going to the same hellhole. So it's like it just needs to stop with that money talk. Doesn't make sense. You're at risk.
The only benefit with Pogba is that, you know, he's got age on his side, and you'd imagine, you know, being an athlete, he's able to fight that and make a healthy recovery. So yeah, man, fingers crossed for him and then Ndombele and anyone else with that fuckery, man.
So you look at France's depth.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
Them man are winning everything for the next 8 years. I don't care.
Oh, you trying to tell me they've called them up because they didn't have them? Yeah, Lord Jesus.
you know what I mean? What is this? Come on.
I don't know what they're doing in the labs over in France, what they're putting in babies' water, but they're making monsters all around the team.
Those players would start for England. Not only start, they would be cherished for England.
Yeah. They're all generational players.
Golden generation, bro. As the golden generation. These men they're getting called up as backup reserves, my guy. This would be England's golden generation. Do you know how good those three names are?
Ridiculous.
This is why it's ridiculous. Scary, fun.
You just gotta laugh, man. It's mad. And when their generation ended, France don't dominate everything for the next significant years. Something's wrong with the coaching staff.
Yeah,
they're set up to do the double. Really, there's no reason they can't win the Euros and try win the next World Cup again and shit like that, man. Because all these men are still young. What, Camavinga's 17, 18. You know, he's there for the next World Cup. I was early 20s. You know, it's only the Griezmanns, the Girouds, potentially Pogba for the next World Cup that you're looking at as getting to the wrong sort of age, but it's scary.
How old is Pogba? Pogba's still very young.
Pogba's 26, isn't it?
Yeah, man. Pogba at least
26. Yeah. Pogba's 26 then, but I thought he was 28 for some reason.
He's
28? Nah, bro.
27.
Nah.
So
so he's a fresh 27 because it would have been his birthday the other day.
So Pogba's an experienced lad going into the next World Cup for them. So yeah, if they don't dominate everything, it's ridiculous. And by then, the next Mbappe probably come about and all these things. The next man somewhere else.
And the thing is with Pogba as well, he's the type of midfielder. You look at him, he's like a Paul Scholes. You know he can adapt his game. He's got the passing range.
Yeah.
He's not one of them midfielders that are going to burn out and you're going to see at 33, 34 can't even hack it. He's got that boy has got everything. Everything.
Yeah, he'll only be 31 next World Cup.
He's got everything, man. He's got the strength, the power.
31, Pogba's still going to be.
He's going to have past man. Yeah. That's calm ages. 31 is calm.
I always say for me, De Bruyne is the better player because he's consistent and he does it at a higher level more often, but is the more complete player. If you're looking at has more weapons, you know, Pogba's strength, his skills, you know what I mean? These are things that midfielders don't usually always have. They don't have the ability to just glide past players and things like that.
Gave him physical, technical, and a brain. Like he got all three. Like, he's got.
If De Bruyne had Pogba's pace, yo, Jesus.
It's just he's so when Pogba's one of them, man, when they get going with that driving run, unless your strength levels, unless you're fouling, you're not stopping them. You're not stopping them.
No, man.
Quality player, man.
He's too, you know what I mean? I honestly, you know, there's certain players that I know they don't play for your club. It's the same with Neymar with the PSG defeat. I kind of felt for him. There's certain players you just want them to fulfill their aspirations. You know what I mean? You want them to kind of just tick everything off the list, get their he's won because their careers they're too good to not win what they, you know what I mean? Trophies get shared around all clubs. Chelsea are never going to win like 10 titles in a row. I accept that. So when it comes to other players, certain players, I want them to do well, especially Pogba, the way he's trashed in the media, dragged every, you know what I mean? Just as on a human level, I just want him to
be a happy black guy. I mean, all he's done is I said, I love you. Now, obviously, he did want to leave at one point, but now he can't win. Pogba, in the last few months, I've seen him killed for singing Glory, Glory, Man United in training. I've seen him killed for training, just normal trade. Like, it's ridiculous. Everything someone asks of a man, he's doing it, and he's still... Pogba realizes now, do you know what? I just hope Pogba's got peace in his mind to know he can never convince people. He just got to live his life and do his thing. Like, you can't just try and win what you can win, do what you want to do, cement your legacy, because he'll never please anyone. Then
No.
you know, you can't please people being in that position. There's no point.
Yeah, but that's what it is. But they'll kill him for everything, but man will have a million excuses for why Harry Maguire is a good lad, innit? Even though he's in jail. You know, like that.
Yeah, to see Fog and Harry Maguire in the same sentence.
It's a madness.
Out here saying, there's not all sides of the story being told. Southgate, you can back your player, but how do you know what's being told? How do you know? So you've immediately there. What is this unconscious bias that makes man believe Maguire and condemn the likes of Raheem Sterling without listening? I'm not even saying Harry Maguire is not a good lad or something. I just feel the energy from the world of football and the way the media report these things and the way fans allow themselves to get twanged and not actually question these things is crazy. Like it's crazy, and so I don't really have much hope for people, man.
If Pogba's in jail, all sides of the story don't matter, bro.
They're doing specials. They're bringing out Souness, Keane. They're bringing out everyone to talk about Pogba. If it was Pogba, imagine Pogba someone punching up police and saying, "Do you know how much money I got?" You know, come on. He's getting labelled as arrogant, as this, that, and the third. Nothing has been said with Maguire. They're still forcing this humble lad from a working class family in the Steel City in Sheffield, and all of that's true. You know, Maguire might have been done dirty. The energy is just different, fam.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh my god!
Oh, big up Ian as well, bro. He's always watching, boy, from his sick bed. He said that he's getting better now, which is good.
Big up Ian, man.
Always tuning into the shows, man. Everyone's talking about Sky Sports. They're chopping guys now. I told man, they look like
dead. They see it's dead. They know. I told man, they look like a Brexit Mount Rushmore, bruv. You know them ones. I told man already. Matt Letizia and Thompson and Nicholas. Bro. Them guys are my guy as well,
bums, though. I don't care. They're all bummy, bro.
Do you know what it is? You saw the progression with Sky when they started saying when they start taking their Sky Sports mic, going outside the Emirates and interviewing troops after Robbie's already done interviewed him.
They know the culture is there.
When they're bringing on expressions to talk about transfers and all this stuff, and they actually let him be himself and continue his lingo, you know something's going on.
They mock us, but they bred the culture, bro. If you look at all of these things, what do they always say? They now starting to say the streets say, or anything Twitter is saying, they bred it. They mock us and then go and cat these things. And it's not before long. They have to let man in. Society is changing. People are seeing just Sky packages in general are not value for money. I don't watch half of these shows. So even when they're in Sky Sports, they're like, I don't like listening to you, man. And you know, some people probably do. You know, there's different stroke for every folk. But you know, people are moving on. People are listening to the likes of Rants and Troops and Hugh Izzy and all of these things. And that's where we're moving to. And Sky are recognizing that. Why would they have live shows? Why would you see Big Zoo on BBC? And you know what? I actually feel sorry for anyone losing their job. But Jeff Sterling, I don't give a crap, because I remember when he tried to little man Big Zoo for no reason. He tried to kind of, I don't like when they do it with Troops as well, you know. And try get at man's intelligence, fam. So they're gone. Is what it is.
They're very good at that. When they have one of those people involved in their setup, they like to try and copy the lingo and you're funny.
Yeah.
Your time. This is not for you.
Tap for me, Negro.
You know what I mean? When someone comes and they do their thing, you stay doing you. Don't try and come with this extra sauce on the. Don't come with all these extra spices. You don't speak like that. Keep it.
Because you can see when it's not authentic with Bear, man. And the thing about England and the English media in general, they stick to what they know. It's very cliquey and they stick to what they know. Once they find one light-skinned brother, they're going to stick with it for time. That's how it's going to roll. One that's not the man them as well. That's what they're going to do.
Brother, I told you, I think they're breading JJ for match of the day still. Genius. Like, I feel like it. You know them ones. You know when you can kind of see the evolution and that?
Yeah.
I feel like he'll replace Gary Lineker. You know them one. And that's what it will be, innit? So that's what their man are kind of doing that, innit? They're kind of trying to bring in the new era thing. At the end of the day,
costing them peace, fam. That's what they care about.
Yeah. At the end of the day, we control the culture, innit? And that's just what it is, unfortunately. When you look at the football scene on YouTube, who's killing it, bro? Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what it is. It's the culture, innit? And Sky are starting to see now that the culture is what people are buying into.
People don't give a crap about this.
People don't care about these dinosaurs no more.
No one cares about it. Stuff in like.
The thing is, as well, is I'm just killing for some actual football knowledge on Sky. Like,
they don't do their research, man.
Like, they're speaking on things they don't watch, and it's like, I know you, man, are not tuning into the Bundesliga. So why are you talking about it? Do you know what I mean? The thing is, they will use the same the same guys for every.
They're not getting paid to watch them games. They're not pre-ing it. They're not pre-ing. Half of these Man United and Arsenal pundits, they're not pre-ing the team. They're not getting paid to do that.
I think they're trying to keep the same characters for every single show, and it's like, why don't you get an expert from the Bundesliga to speak on it so we can actually take their opinion seriously? Why don't you get someone to cover just Arsenal so we know they're watching Arsenal properly? They're not talking rubbish.
You know what man are tired of as well, bro? Man are tired of this whole just because you was an ex-footballer or just because you're there, that man just have to listen to you, innit? Like, you don't get it twisted. You have some experience and some knowledge and some insight no one else will see. But man just can't be judging you for that. Equally, you can't just cast off a man who works in a chip shop and just happens to be a Chelsea fan. He might know his thing. Yeah, and that's what people are looking at now. People are tired of having this authority thing.
Yeah.
But this is it. And they're man, like, it's just getting to the point where their lack of credibility showing, bruv. And don't get it twisted. It's not just a colour thing, it's a culture thing, bro. We need younger pundits now. Because the game has moved on, and a lot of these old man chatting West, bruv. Even like Paul Ince, bruv. When Alex Scott had to pattern him up, it's like Paul Ince should be nowhere near a TV screen. This guy,
man, statues, you don't even know that.
Bro, he was a decent footballer in his time. Do you know what I'm saying? He played in Italy, he done his thing, cool. Failed manager multiple times. Don't know nothing about the game. Should be nowhere near the TV screens.
Just capping.
You see what I'm saying? And when we look at the impact that Michael Richards has had at Sky Sports, the reason why he's had that impact is because of the culture, bro. He's younger, he's relatable, he's fresh. And it's a breath of fresh air, and people are loving it. And the way he stands up to Roy Keane and he banters them, man.
He's not on the nickel. You can shout as much as you shout. I'm scared.
This is it. Like when Roy Keane tried to buoy him off, banter him about burst on the scene kind of thing. I'm like, bro. Mike said, listen, youngest defender to play for England. Who are you talking to? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, no one else would have had the bottle to say that to Roy Keane, bro. Because he's from our generation.
Yeah, they let Roy Keane run him up.
England don't have personality. So you can't see all them. I don't even know their names, but Sharp and all them basketball, man. You couldn't do that in England because we're not like that. And especially, let's again, it's not just a color thing, but a black guy, because we're meant to be shut up. You're in this opportunity. Be thankful. They don't like man that are bossy with it, and sooner or later they're gonna have to get with it because even if they don't, they just care about the peas. They just care about the peas, and it's almost like people are blaming Alex Scott and Michael Richards for people losing their jobs. It's like it's not their fault. It's not their fault. What is this?
It's not their fault that they're talented. They're just too good, unfortunately.
They're wavy, bro.
Some respect.
If you don't like it, turn it off, bro. There's still talk sport. You can still do other things, There'll still be a market because they don't get twisted. There must be some man that like Charlie Nicholas. I don't mind listening to him and them man for what they are. Go and find that niche. There's something for everyone, but that's not where the game is going now. People are tired of people that chat shit, man.
100%. So do you know what I mean? All the people getting onto these people, like say they're the one handing out redundancies. Like, give it a break, bruv. Like, less of that. The bottom line is, football has changed, and the old guard in this punditry thing need to be moved along in it, and the new fresh ones need to come through, bruv. And they're cutting through, and it just so happens that they're cutting through and they look different as well, and people are getting upset.
Even what's his name, bro? What's my man's name? Is it Rezana? I think he's a good little pundit. He don't really get
Leroy Racine,
Yeah, he's a good pundit. You can tell he does his research when he's
very intelligent.
Thinking through things. Too many people. It's like they come with a fucking, a piece of paper with just general statements they want to state. It's ridiculous, bro. It's ridiculous.
So I mean, you look slap that like, bruv. We're over 1,700. Keep going, DG, blood. We're climbing, bruv. You might slap that 2,000.
We're climbing, bro. It's ridiculous, man. It's just ridiculous because it's like they don't want to let man in. They really don't want to let people in, but they have no choice because people, I don't know, it's a mixture of YouTube, it's a mixture of viewing pleasures, even down to streaming. People don't want to hear these commentators anymore, you know. People don't want to hear it.
You can turn it off.
You turn it off. People don't want to hear it. People don't want to hear it. They're saying the same old recycled stuff, and it tires people out, man. Like even me, I'm exhausted. So I can only imagine how other people who don't make content feel. Like the people listening to this. This is where they only get their little bit of authenticity because we're relatable. It's simple as.
100%. Oh, yeah. And that's what I'm saying. He's saying even like Leroy's a published journalist. That's what I mean. Racine and that. That's the kind of guys, respectable guys that we need. Ex-players that are articulate and that. Not these bums on Sunday supplement. I'm glad they got rid of that.
These any lager louts just bringing them in.
This is what it is. I'm glad they got rid of that, man. Like I'm 100% supporting of that, and the fact that TalkSport had to turn off their comments, yeah, on tweets, bruv, that speaks volumes, isn't it?
You know, and TalkSport, you know, TalkSport, he loves engagement levels. Man.
What did I miss?
When Darren Bent was talking about it was when Darren Bent was talking about the racism thing, innit, with Sterling and Bent, I swear.
Okay.
Yeah, they were talking about it. And also, yeah, Laura Woods, yeah, like as much as I think she's all right, yeah, like decent person and that, bruv, she looked very disinterested. I'm not gonna lie. When Darren was talking about it, it was almost like she was playing with her nails, kind of thing.
Because it don't affect her. Because
yeah, I wasn't really feeling that. I wasn't really feeling that. And remember, I'm one of the guys who I've done stuff with TalkSport before, but I came out and I said, you know, when they were doing the whole Black Lives Matter thing, yeah, and coming out saying about diversity and that, I was like, bro, you're the same man giving platforms to guys like Simon Jordan. Do you know what I'm saying? And them idiots. So I don't want to hear you saying about you're for equality until I see you actually doing things. And then you do like a token thing and you bring Darren on to speak, and then she's not even really concentrating. You turn the comments off. So that means you know what your people are like. You know what your demographic is. That's what it tells me, you know. You fully know what you're doing. And it's that sort of thing. These people haven't been in our reality. Like, I speak for every content creator who's ever been on these shows. Yeah, it's not just necessarily the talent. It's when you look at the producers. It's when you look around. You don't see many diversified faces. You might see the cleaners. You might see security guards. You might see the runners and things and people who get drinks and water. But you don't see the video guys, the people who hold the cameras. They're not reflecting the diversity. So how can the on-field screen reflect it? In relation to Laura Woods, I respect her thing, but she just doesn't care because it doesn't affect her. It's not something she's had to deal with. She's probably had a silver spoon in her mouth. She hasn't had to fight for this thing. Let me be a bit respectful, because obviously she's a woman in a male-dominated sport. She has had some diversity. But in terms of, you know, the things that we get as black men, you know, if we're quiet, we're seen as anti. We talk, we're seen as aggressive. You know, our very face goes against it because we don't look like what they want us to look like. So they'll never understand it. So why would she care? And I'm not going to lie, with someone like Darren Bent, his is probably sort of watered down and things, and he's probably thinking about what he wants to say and stuff, so the lines are being blurred. Rants said it perfectly. They know their demographic. And TalkSport care about engagement. So for them to turn off them thingies, it tells you everything. It really does tell you everything about the sort of people they watch, the sort of people they want to react, and the sort of people they attract. Because your customers speak about your brand. It says it all. It says it all. It says it all, bro. 100%, bro. You know what I'm saying? What's this? And my man saying, yeah, Alexis and Melissa. Yeah, they're ESPN though, innit? Different. American stations are different. Yeah, Alexis is my G as well, boy. I'm gonna get her on the channel, bro. But it's ESPN. It's America. It's different. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, them man know you're allowed to have your opinions. You're allowed to have a personality. All these things. Here, you're allowed to have it as long as you don't look like me. You can have
yeah. You can have an opinion unless if you
can have an opinion. You can have as many as you want.
Literally,
you know, like that. So it's fine. Roy Keane was talking about punching man up at half time and not letting man on the bus, and it was funny. But imagine if I said that.
Yeah.
Phil Neville the other day, years ago, Phil Neville said he was basically saying he would take a tackle beyond the point of a normal tackle and kind of hurt someone, not reprimanded on that at all. Like, the things they're allowed to say is ridiculous. Like, it's ridiculous, man. It's fucking ridiculous, fam. When other people do it, it's called passionate. When we do it, it's called something else, man. Like, it's almost, you almost have to just laugh now, man, because they really take us for fools and people lap it up all the time, man. And until players boycott talking on these major stations, until they say they're only fucking with certain individuals for the culture, we're not going to get anywhere. If this was America, you know, you think you could see that blackout thing in England? Never do that. Never have the rules. There'll be 10 man who do it, 20 man are thinking about other man, I'm going to lose, man. I don't want to get paid, you know. And you have that one guy, that one Uncle Tom saying, I don't think we should do it. Like, bro, you can't do some of the stuff you do in America and England, man. It's too small of a place. It's too cliquey. England are very good at hiding things and rubbing you out before you've had a chance, man. So it's funny, bro. It's funny.
100%, guys. And Lionel Messi, like, to wrap it up, bruv, Leo is... I told man about Messi, you know. People don't know, but Messi's a bad youth, you know. He's bad, you know. Like, imagine in the middle of a pandemic.
Make out.
Bro,
Middle of a pandemic.
You're gonna leave these men for free. They're not even gonna get no money for you. They can't replace you. They have no leave. He literally just said, you know what? Bun this football club. I don't care what you paid for me. I don't care whatever. Bun you lot. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's literally leaving them high and dry, bro.
Stressed, man. I can't blame him. Because for Messi, a man that's been there close to 2 decades, for him to want to leave, seeing the team change, it must have been the final straw, man. It's been promise after promise after promise. You know, you hear that apparently he's angry about being blamed of things that are not in his control. I guess that's at the boardroom. Personally, I think there could be a U-turn if he gets these boardrooms out and they do their thing. But for Messi,
that's what he's trying to do.
For me, it is. But for Messi to want to leave is a mazza. And if he comes Prem, it's a mazza. But like you said, he's a bad youth, man. He's stressed out, you know.
Bro, did you see the fans? They broke into the new camp, bro. Did you see it yesterday?
Yeah, see? Someone that president, he's gonna listen. He might not be able to walk the street safe if Messi leaves. He needs to come out of Barca. He needs to move. He needs to come out of Spain. It's gonna get long for him. It's gonna get long. Like Rants said,
honestly, if they're attacking Bale,
a grenade as well, allegedly.
That president's going to be in hospital like very soon because the way they're attacking Bale's car for missing a chance or something. You know what I mean?
So imagine Messi.
They don't play. You know, that's the greatest footballer of all time, and he walks out the door to Man City. I personally love it because listen, like I said, Chelsea on a long-term project. If Man City are going to win the league for the next 2 seasons with Messi in the Premier League, I'm not saying I want to see my team get clapped up by Messi, but just from a football fan, I want to see Messi in the Premier League. I'm see that. I've been waiting for my whole life to see that.
That's what I said. If Messi goes to Man City, bro, I'm happy, you know, because honestly, the reason why I'm happy is because I get to see this guy every week, fam.
Yeah.
You know the amount of queues there's gonna be for that Messi shirt, on the pitch, blood. Man are gonna be fighting each other for his shirt.
Yeah.
Mad.
Live, you know, a lot of people ain't seen Messi live unless you go to Champions League games or you've gone to Europe. So a lot of people ain't seen Messi live. So I'm trying to see all of that. Do you know what I mean? If I can see Messi for the last couple of years of his career, this is the greatest player of all time. This is the player I'm going to tell my kids about, my grandkids. Do you know what I mean?
You get to see if he can do it against Stoke in the
cup. Do you know what I mean? If he comes to the Premier League for 2 seasons, that's brilliant for me. I'm trying to see those mid-table Premier League teams get humbled. Them West Hams that get too mouthy. I'm trying to see them get humbled. All them teams need to see what we deal with on the Champions League space because they need to know, fam. This player. You know, a lot of people say, oh, he can't hack it in England. This guy's record against the top teams in England.
Every English team he's played.
He's illegal, rude. He's rude. So what he's going to do to these West Hams?
And he's only 33. Considering Aubameyang and Vardy are still doing their thing in the Prem, what the hell is he going to do in this thing?
No, man.
The guy waited for the release clause to expire, you know, and said, you know what, guys? Safe. Do you know how dread that is? Bro, there was a 700 million release clause. Messi just kept his head down and then just said, you know what, I'm gone, rude boy. In the middle of a pandemic, you know, they won't get a penny for him, yeah? And he doesn't care.
Yeah, man, they're going to go court, man. Yeah, man,
Barcelona have been declining for years on years, and Messi has been bailing them out time and time again, keeping them at the top of football. They have been declining. We spoke about on the show their transfer dealings, the way that they're structured, the way that they have no plan. The way they're chopping and changing average bum managers coming from Rui Betis. Who the hell is this brother? Why is he in charge of Barcelona? What kind of nonsense is this? The Barcelona job's just going around, you know what I mean, on Job Center. Anything can get it. And it's cool because Messi will bail us out. No, fuck that. Watch Messi. I want Messi to leave and put that club back in the mud, fam.
Because they replace Neymar. How can you replace Messi? You replace Dani Alves. How can you replace Messi?
They need to pay for their thing, bro. Every other club, fam, every other club in world football have to structure themselves, have to get themselves right, have to organize themselves, buy good players. This team is just out here just playing games, loaning Coutinho out to Bayern so he can score 2 goals against you and lift Champions League. It's legal. Nah, bro, you're paying loan fees and that. So for this man to come and score against you,
you got that Braithwaite and stuff.
They paid 140 million, dashing out money for Griezmann.
Neymar for leaving, boy. Neymar was bantered for leaving, even though Neymar didn't win the Champions League. He's gone further than Barca having since the time he's left. So you could say, could he see something was happening before this thing?
They need to be punished, fam. They need to be punished. I'm here for it. That team have been getting all their breaks with UEFA and FIFA and all of this in the Champions League and all that. You know what I mean? Robin Van Persie can't hit a whistle, but because it's Barcelona, it doesn't matter. My guy, I want that. I want Messi out of that team. He needs saving. Let his last few years be with Pep. You know what I mean? Lift a couple trophies. And I want Barca back to the beginning. Reset button. Reset button on that club.
God knows what Barca do if Messi leaves, because you can't replace the best player in the world. You know, you got a COVID market where you said you can't buy Neymar now. You know what is going to happen, and it's like, you know, if Messi does leave, what players do you go after? For me, you've got to bring Neymar. That's that you've got to bring him back, and you've got to go to players of that standard. Can you do like 2 signings in the summer? No, and it's not just Messi. Suarez as well probably leave.
Neymar wouldn't go back without Messi. Why would you go back to a team in decline? You're playing with Mbappe. Fair enough, you lost the Champions League final. You're playing with Mbappe. You know what I mean? Why would you even dare go to Barcelona? They are in freak decline. Like Griezmann, Coutinho, all these players that they spent so much money on, they can't even get them fitting into the system to work the same. If Messi goes, there's really no pull to go to that club. I have to say, there's no real pull to go. So, you know what I mean? Real Madrid, if you look at Real Madrid's under 23s, under 24s, the amount of players they got on that roster, this team is able to sell Hakimi from Dortmund. Just let him go just because they got too many players.
Yeah, ridiculous.
They got so many young players coming through at Real Madrid. They are ready for this decade, fam. They're ready. You can see it. The post
Ronaldo one out to Dortmund as well.
Yeah, exactly. They're ready, bro. Trust. Real Madrid next decade, they're ready. They're really ready. They're not playing about. Do you know what I mean?
100%. It's gonna be a mad thing, but bro, honestly, I want Messi to come Prem, innit? I do, innit? I don't think he will, but I want that, innit? Like those people say, oh, why are you supporting United? Why do you want him to go City? Because
just want to see the football, man.
I want to see the football, and just because my club are a joke club, that don't mean man has to hate on everyone else's blood. Like, you know, like that. It's like, bro, like I made my bed as a 4-year-old child. Now I got to lay in it.
Now you got to lay in it.
I got to lay in it. United are trash blood. So if it means that Messi goes Man City, bro, understand that stadium will never be empty again. Because if you support Stockport, you're going to watch Man City. I don't care. You know them ones. If you support Stoke, man, I'll go watch Man City. You know them ones. I'll get the train one stop to Manchester, go watch that, because that's what football's about, innit? Football's about, it's about the romance, it's about the artistry, it's about all of that. Do you know what I mean? And right now, bruv, if you're going to a team and you get to watch De Bruyne, Messi, Aguero, Mahrez, come on, bro. Like that's what football's about.
Simple.
You know what I mean? So if they get Lionel Messi, brother, this not only are they winning everything, but boy, like the game is the game. I can't even hate on it. You know them ones.
Nice, Lionel Messi. Like, come on,
I can't hate on it. You know what I'm saying?
You can tell me they don't want to see Messi skipping around these mid-table dons. You can't say you don't want to see it. Messi putting 4 pounds.
Remember what Stanislas done to Maguire. I'm not trying to see Messi run up on Maguire. I'm not trying to see Messi pull up on the up block, bro. Because when Messi pulls up,
you get long.
He's megging 6 man in the Prem. Easy. You know that one. Easy in the Prem. That's what people are saying. Oh, do you think Messi can do it, bruv?
Messi will do it.
Messi munching these guys. Understand? Imagine, dude. What? Messi's gonna run up on these dead ballers, bro. Like John Stones and that. Because John Stones will end up somewhere random, yeah? You get me? Getting chopped, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, you think that Messi's not gonna body Johnny Evans and them?
Exactly. He's ruining everybody. Ruining everybody, whatever team he's behind.
Messi finishes everyone, innit? If he comes to the Prem, nobody. Imagine Messi and Mahrez on the same pitch with De Bruyne and Aguero and Sterling. Bro, get out of it.
Jesus Christ.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Signings they might make as well.
Bro,
listen. You know what? You don't even need to make no more signings. Bun the rest of the team. We're fine. Trust. It's one of the ones, where you just outscore your opponents. You got Messi up front. It's game over.
This Donny said Messi will fill the empty.
Yeah, easy, bruv. They can play Messi in the false 9, bruv, when Aguero's injured. And just flank him, with Mahrez and Sterling. You're laughing, bro. False 9 Messi, bro, with De Bruyne.
He's not going to play out wide. He's not going to play wide at 33.
He's not going to play out wide at 33. You play him in the middle, you'll have a floating role like Firmino.
Yeah.
And just mash man up.
And just run runners, bro. Sterling's a runner.
I'm not trying to see that, because man are going to get killed, you know. Imagine you're trying to face up Leo. Man just megging you, bro, and you're just trying to grab man.
Forget about it.
Yeah, like honestly, if he goes to Man City, I'll be happy. I'm not gonna lie, bruv. Like it is what it is, bro. Because the reason why he's going City is because United are dead, bro. Like, that's what it is. Because United have got an Adidas sponsorship. And if United was saying something, they could get Adidas to do a thing and get the Messi thing over the line.
Yeah, over the line.
Messi and Pogba as the Adidas' two biggest athletes.
Oh, yeah, marketing is a Mazzolini.
But that's what I'm saying.
People brought in Sancho as well.
Bro, that's what I mean. But United are not serious. And because they're not serious, I can't be hating on Man City if they're getting their business done. It's the same with Chelsea. When Chelsea got 6 man coming out the van looking like human trafficking in that. You know, like that. That Chelsea got a bare man, bro, in the white van.
Just taking everybody over the border.
Bro, like, that's what it looks like with Chelsea. I can't hate. And the worst thing is, yeah, these men are talking Alex Scott and that, bro. They got a woman, yeah, running things at Chelsea, you know.
Yeah. Top negotiator, fam. Best for me, the best.
Yeah. Male-dominated sport doing quite well, you know. Credit where due, you know. She's probably had to deal with a shitload of retarded comments and prejudice and outdated comments throughout her career. So shout out to her, man. She takes no shit. In a male-dominated industry, she does not leave that office without getting what she wants. Shout out to her, man.
But that's what I'm saying. So when you look at that, I can't respect my club. Can't respect them.
I mean, you guys are the only one in for Sancho. It does. I mean, is there any update? I'm very surprised.
How can you be the only, bro? Imagine you're the only guy, yeah, that this girl's talking to, fam, and she won't go out with you. Like what are you doing, bro? Imagine you're the only guy. You're the only guy, you know. Her line is dead, bro. Her line is dead, bro. The line is dead. You can't get it over the line, fam. She's always washing her hair, fam.
Yeah. It's
this is what's going on.
It's like Man United are in Hawaii with Sancho, fam. There's only you two there. And
only you two there. Her dad has said to you, yeah, you can chat to her.
Yeah.
She's allowed out. She's allowed out. Like, you can chat to her, man. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm cool. You get me? Her dad said, yeah, you can take her out. You can take her out. You get me? That's it. Just come and pick her up at 8. Make sure she's home by 10. You can't secure it. You can't secure it, bro.
Yeah. You can't get it done.
You got the dad's blessing, bro.
Yeah. You still can't get it done. Something's going wrong.
Don't want to pay for Uber. Don't want to get the car. Don't want to get the petrol money. Don't want to get anything together to get to the house.
You know, like that. Man's looking in the ashtray for the petrol money and that. It's horrible, bro. Like, I'm watching this thing. Yeah, I'm watching the saga play out. And then the funniest thing is, by the time you actually do go and pick her up, it's all dead, bro. Like, she's been waiting and that the lipstick's dry and that. But this is what it is. By the time Sancho comes, bro, the novelty's worn off, you know.
Big belly in that. Yeah, it's going to be a great.
The novelty's worn off. By the time you sign him, I wouldn't even be able to celebrate it.
Yeah. Exactly. This should have been done years ago.
Yeah, but that's it. You turn up to the girl's house and that, she'll be like, bro, you're 2 hours late. I've eaten now, bro. Like, what is it? I've eaten. You know, like that. We can just sit in the car and talk now. It's dead.
Literally.
That's what it is, bro. Like, when I'm looking at the Sancho saga, that's what it is, bro. Like,
it's horrible. Get it done? Because a lot of men still very confident.
Them man know if they don't get it done, man out mouth up. Ed Woodward's house getting burnt down, fam.
Yeah.
He knows that. Do you know what I mean? Them guys are throwing fireworks at his house for no reason. Imagine if he doesn't get the Sancho thing over the line. Them man already know where he lives.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't even advocate them kind of things, but I know what these men are like. They're emotional like that. I'm saying, like, they'll be back at his yard. Do you know what I'm saying? He's gonna have to move out.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's a pride thing. Like, there's been too much. Your fan base. Same with our fan base with Havertz. Well, obviously Havertz is secured, but you guys have done too much propaganda. Do you know what I mean? To not get him. If you don't get him, it's embarrassing. You know, Twitter as an app, every day players just go home. Players just go home. Just log off. Deactivate your account. Like, you cannot afford not to get him. Too much propaganda. I'm seeing welcome to Manchester United videos on YouTube. He's editing in the kit. He's edited in the kits. You know, people making the videos, making the threads, writing books and songs and whatnot. You can't not get him. There's going to be lives ruined for him. It's not
absolutely
too much. It's not good. Ed Woodward needs to just pull the finger out, man. It's not worth your home and your livelihood, bro. It's just.
But there you go. Do you know what I mean? So, do you know what I mean? I still think that Arsenal are going to pull a few things out the bag that we haven't seen coming, because they tend to do their business quietly, innit? Like, I feel like they're still going to bring in a few, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, Chelsea are moving extremely mad. Do you know what I mean? And United are doing nothing. So it's one of them ones where like it'll be very interesting to see how this thing wraps up, man. But it's the Community Shield this weekend. So football, effectively, the season starts on Saturday. Is it Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday, I think.
Saturday, yeah. So the league starts on Saturday. So people need to kind of get their thing together. Do you know what I'm saying? So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I'm not sure. When does the window close?
October, no?
October, but I think it's something funny. It's something funny, like it's the domestic window closes in October. Like you can buy English up until October. It closes for the foreign thing at a certain point. Like, I need to do my research, but I'm pretty sure that's what I saw on Sky Sports.
I see. Well, fair enough. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it'll be interesting, guys, to see what happens. But big up for tuning in.
Come on,
the show. Slap the like, man. Like, yeah, the numbers are mad. Like, this is probably the record for the show, man. Like nearly 1,800, man, which is a madness. Do you know what I mean? And we soon slap the 2,000. Do you know what I mean? Make sure you hit the likes. Make sure you follow the man them.
Come on,
right at the bottom. If you man got anything else to plug, let them know where they can find you and that.
Nah, man, you know how to find me, man. That's there across all the socials and YouTube and the rest of it.
There you go. The same with Matisse.
Twitter, you know what I mean? Videos are going up. A lot of things are going on. So yeah, keep it moving. Obviously, the transfer news and whatnot, keep up to date with that.
Exactly. And also, me and Statman, we done the fantasy league you lot were asked for. We created it. The link's in the description. Whoever wins a fantasy league at the end of the season, I'm going to do a giveaway in it. Before I decide what I'm going to give away, I'm going to put a few things out there and you lot can choose what the winner gets in it. Like, I'm not joining because I'm lazy, bruv. I'll do the team 1 week and then I'm done in it. That's it. I'll leave the same team for the whole season. Man could all break his leg. He's still playing.
I can't afford to do that. I did that last season. I'm not trying to do that this year. I just forgot about it. Forgot the password. So.
But that's what I'm saying. Man could be all out with Achilles and that, yeah, and he's still my captain, fam. I don't care.
Like, you need dedication for that thing, man.
This is it. I don't have it. So if you want to join the fantasy league, the link's in the description, guys. Big up for watching, and yeah, boy, we'll catch you lot in a bit.
Come on.